Hey guys, and welcome back to the totally normal Gran Turismo 5 playthrough. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I recommend doing so, cause they're gonna provide a lot of context on where we are now. Anyways, I welcome you back to the world of Gran Turismo 5. Now, since we already got the prize car we needed from the license test, there is no need for me to continue doing them. Instead, we can just instantly get to the next event. That being the European Championship in the Stratos rally car, which I won back in episode 10. And if you're wondering, yes, I forgot about the oil change. Very sad, but the playthrough must go on. Anyways, the first race is at Rome Circuit. So let's see how I do. I feel like at this point, this song has pretty much become the anthem of my channel. Anyways, not even the first corner came around and I'm already out accelerating the Golf. And once I actually got to the first corner, I overtook the A3 and my episode 7 self. And also the 147 GTA. And then on the very next corner, I managed to easily overtake the Volvo and the Citroen. Overall, this race was really easy. That is, until this happened. Insert explosion here. But despite that, I was still in first place. Of course, until it happened again on the fourth lap. Insert explosion here. But yeah, even though I spun the car out twice, I still managed to easily win the race. And earned a whopping 82,000 credits for winning. Oh yeah, we are now entering the mainstream of this game. The second race is at Deep Forest. The first braking zone came around and I easily beat the Lotus RS200 and the Volvo again. And once I got to the next corner, I overtook Rosie Miranto's GTV, and then on this corner, I overtook the Audi TT. And then in the tunnel, I overtook the Jaguar that was right in front of it. And well, aside from me visiting a birthplace of a certain joke, insert explosion here. The rest of the race just felt like a time trial session. How little did I know that was gonna become a common theme for most of the races in this episode. Anyways, that's another hard-earned 82,000 credits for me. The third and the final race is at Monza Circuit. And if you're wondering, yes, I stopped and let the others pass me. The first braking zone came around and I managed to easily catch up to the Opel Vectra and overtake it. And then once I got back up to speed again, I instantly overtook the Aventime. And then also overtook the Concept 1 Series right before the next braking zone, which I was easily able to cut. And then completely fuck up trying to get back on the road. But that's okay, as the C5 was instantly overtaken on the very next corner. And then after overtaking the Audi S4, I pulled a shortcut on this corner, allowing me to climb up all the way to third place. And so, on the final braking zone before the second lap, I managed to catch up to the RS200, but unfortunately did not manage to overtake it. But thanks to its terrible top speed, I was easily able to overtake it on the straight. And now the only thing standing between me and first place is the greeny guy Tamora, which I was easily able to overtake thanks to my shortcut opportunity. And then on the third lap, I tried to do the exact same thing but miscalculated the shortcut. Insert explosion here. My skill issue allowed the others to catch back up to me, but I was easily able to gain that time back thanks to the off-road activities that I kept pulling off. But anyways, I just cruised to the finish line and won the race. And earned another 82,000 credits on top of that. And yeah, that's European Championship. Anyways, let's see what we get as a prize car for winning this event. An Audi Le Mans Quattro? I mean, I'm not really sure if I have a use for this car, but we'll see. Anyways, it is now time for me to beat Like the Wind using the Bugatti Veyron, which I got for beating GT World Championship. But not without putting racing softs on it, and every other upgrade which was available for it. This better work, otherwise it was just a huge waste of money. Either way, the first race is at Daytona Road Course. So let's see how I do. Starting off strong with the Veyron. The first corner came around and I managed to easily catch up to the Pescarolo that was in front of me. And then I overtook it. And as this braking zone came around, I managed to easily beat the 787B and the 905 as well. And then it took me a bit to catch up to the V12 LMR, but once I did, it was very easy to overtake it. And then after that, overtaking the Toyota 7 was nothing difficult. And so, after overtaking the Escudo right after the test course corner thanks to it braking for no fucking reason, I was now in first place. But as we all know, happiness is only temporary. Insert explosion here. And so, me hitting the barrier caused me to fall all the way down to 8th place. But that's okay, as I managed to pretty much instantly climb back up to the podium. And so, after failing to sabotage the V12 LMR, the Toyota 7 overtook me. But I managed to easily overtake it back. And so, the hunt to catch back up to first place began. And so, I managed to easily catch back up to the V12 LMR on this corner, but the car's understeer kicked in, causing me to lose control and go off track. Insert explosion here. Losing even more time to first place as a result. As soon as the 905 did a minor slip-up, I used that opportunity to overtake it back. And I overtook the Sauber Mercedes as well. Now, catching up to the Pescarolo and 787B was no easy task. Overtaking them, however, was the easiest thing I've ever done. And as the fourth lap began, I lost control of the Veyron yet again. Insert explosion here. But unlike the previous two times, I was instantly able to recover. And so I proceeded to overtake the Pescarolo for the fourth time in this race, and took the podium away from the 787B as soon as I could. But it doesn't matter, as with one lap remaining, catching back up to first place seemed impossible. And so, I tried everything I could to try to catch back up to the two in front. Corner after corner after corner. And by some fucking miracle, I was actually able to catch back up to the Escudo and V12 LMR. And now all I needed to do was overtake them before crossing the finish line, which I was luckily able to pull off. Let's be honest here, this redemption race was on par with that one race from No Money Challenge episode 8. And so, this victory allowed me to financially recover from buying all those upgrades for the Veyron. But was the same true for the second race at Indianapolis? Absolutely not. I got completely destroyed. And the only reason I wasn't in last place is because the Vertigo was there. Which unfortunately means we do not get the OP prize car from this. Not yet, anyway. And so, it's now time to get into my RX-8 Concept LM. Now, you may be wondering, why didn't I just use it for GT World Championship? Well, given this is the only Japanese race car I have, I've decided that I want to save this thing for Super GT. And after making sure it has a similar power output as a Super GT race car, it is now time to beat the set event. The first race is at Suzuka Circuit. So let's see how I do. For this race, literally all I had to do was put on rain tires. And thanks to how slow the AI is in the rain, I didn't have to worry about losing the first place one bit. So, what am I supposed to do now for the rest of the 9 laps? I mean, I could bless you with another drift montage, but I do not want that joke to become blatantly repetitive. You're grounded. For what? because you cussed at the lunch lady. She wouldn't give me extra sauce. I don't care, you cannot talk to teachers like that. She's not a teacher. You cannot talk to your elders like that. Have you heard the way you talk to grandma? You're not allowed to talk to service workers like that. You called a cashier at McDonald's a geriatric inflatable shit bucket because he wouldn't give you a discount. And so, after the most boring 23 minutes of my life, which felt like 4 hours, the race had finally ended. And being honest, I wasn't expecting an event in the Extreme series of all things to be this easy. Hey, I also reached level 25, which means that if I wanted to, I can now take part in the Endurance series. The second race is at Fuji Speedway. The first braking zone came around and I managed to literally overtake everyone. Seriously, why does the difficulty level keep going down? And even though this race wasn't as boring, it still felt like a blatant time trial session. And so, I earned 82,000 credits by doing absolutely nothing. And the third and final race at Tokyo Route 246 was all the same, as I managed to overtake almost everyone by the first braking zone, while the two SC430s and the Yellow Hat Supra were no match for the RX-8. Hopefully the remaining events won't be this boring, otherwise I won't have any video material. And so I can conclude this event, which actually ended up being one of the easiest in the entire playthrough. And yeah, that's Super GT. Anyways, let's see what we get as a prize car for winning this event. A Calsonic Skyline? I don't think I really have a use for the car in the playthrough, but it's nice to have it nonetheless. And that's about it for today's episode, one which I guess you can consider a more laid-back one. Anyways, if you enjoyed, which I know you did, like the video, and maybe even consider subscribing, I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 14.